We're driving a 2024 Audi S8.
Here's how much it costs.
Coming up, our S8 tester has a rear seat comfort package. Is it worth $4,000? But first, interior.
This interior looks and feels super luxurious. The way the speakers rise up.
The cup holders won't let you grab your cup. So luxurious.
I appreciate the cover on the cup holders. I do not appreciate the size. It's very difficult to jam a big cup in there.
Earlier, before we shot the video, my green tea latte fell out on my sweetie.
Luckily, I'm wearing the perfect outfit to cover up a spray of matcha latte.
You're probably thinking, well, just use the doors. You can't use the doors for anything that needs to be held vertically. You can put a bottle in there, but it better be sealed. You're right, though. There are some cool materials in here. I like the carbon fiber inlays, the little metallic accents. Stitching is really nice, except for this shiny black plastic right here. There's so much dust collected on there, and when I got in here, I was like, oh, look at all these like scratches and like fingerprints and stuff. Shiny black plastic looks great in the dealership, but with 1 or 2 days of living with it, it starts to get gunky.
This detail where the air vents retreat, almost like Homer Simpson disappearing into the bushes.
By the way, I'm getting some crazy reflections right now off the metallic trim. Slightly blinded.
By luxury!
Whoa.
The seats are a nice combination of supportive and comfortable enough, but also wide enough. I really like the seats.
They're also incredibly adjustable. We also have a massage function. I'm having one of those days where I feel like I could use a massage, working my lumbar zone. Firm but respectful. The whole point of a car like this, in many ways, is to be driven, not to drive it. Backseat space is impeccable. Kiddo, how did you find climbing in and out of the car?
Easy peasy lemon squeezy. It's nice and low and the door opens wide.
It is properly luxurious back there.
It might even be more luxurious than it is up here.
Yeah, we got vanity mirrors in the back. For the vain among us. It's me. I'm talking about me. As teased at the beginning of the video, our vehicle has a rear seat comfort package and it costs $4,000. Is it worth it? That package gets you heated armrests. You've got power, ventilated, heated memory seats.
The rear passenger can adjust the radio, the lighting.
I can adjust the radio?
Yes.
You've said too much, sweetie. Kiddo, how do you like that massage function?
So nice. In fact, I might do it in a bit.
$4,000 seems like a lot, but as a percentage of the total vehicle price, it only adds 3% to the vehicle that we're driving right now. A modest premium for some genuinely fancy backseat accoutrement. Yeah, worth it. By the way, which one is more pretentious, accoutrement or accoutrements?
The second one sounds like Cooter, which seems like somebody's nickname.
Is that what it seems like? Moving on to cargo space, we've got 12.5 cubic feet. That's way smaller than you'd find in like a Honda Civic. And yet,
it feels small.
It's still a pretty workable space. In our tester, we also don't have fold-down seats, although there is a pass-through feature. And yes, that power trunk lid comes standard. What about getting the booster seat installed?
The seats are generously cushioned, so it is a little fiddly to snap the booster in, but there is enough space for a rear-facing car seat.
Big time. As for safety, neither the NHTSA nor IIHS have rated the Audi A8/S8, but there are 11 airbags and there's a full suite of active driver assist except for lane keeping assist. So you have lane departure warning, which will tell you if you've gone over the lane markers, but it will not steer itself back into its lane. And as I always mention, that's standard on a Toyota Corolla. What do we think? Is the Audi S8 family friendly?
It's almost rich family friendly, but we cannot give it the badge without standard lane keeping assist.
Rear window test. Oh, so close. Boop. Armrest test. Driving in a comfortable 8 and 4, I have easy access to the inboard armrest, and it does this little like kind of rising up thing. Outboard's a little bit more of a reach, but I can kind of make it work. And we got a solid squish factor there, stitching on the edge, but not too abrasive. I'm gonna go 85% inboard, 70% outboard. Hey, would you like to see more videos like this where we review cars as a family, plus the occasional helicopter adventure? If you would, you're welcome to subscribe. Style!
For something that drives like this in the S8 form, it really would fly under the radar, I think. Handsome but understated. It's much more showy on the inside than the outside.
There's a version of affluence that needs you to know it's got money, and then there's another version where it's confident in its affluence and it doesn't need you to know it quite so much. That's kind of my versions. I don't want to roll around in like a Rolls.
Oh, good. Because if you did, I would have some bad news for you, sweetie.
Sure, maybe we could afford the Rolls, but I don't have a top hat budget or the monocle expenses. It really adds up. One aspect of the S8 I really like is the paint job. This is District Green Metallic. None of the colors cost extra. I really hate when you're 6 figures into a car and then they nickel and dime you on the paint job. In similar fashion, Flying Eyes Eyewear offers a wide range of no-cost lens options. I'm currently enamored with Mirrored Emerald. If you'd like to learn more about how customizable Flying Eyes are, along with why they're so comfortable under a headset or a helmet, click the link in the description below. Sexy look. Last style thought, to me, the S8 very much looks like an Audi. Maybe a slightly longer version of an A6 or an even longer version of like an A4. I wouldn't mind if the A8/S8 had a little bit more of its own personality. But overall, we find the S8 to be handsome. What do you guys think? Do you like it? Do you dislike it? Tell us in the comments section. In motion! You can hear some road noise because we've got terrible roads up here in the mountains, but very quiet. We've got acoustic glass on the side and you can barely hear the engine. An adaptive air suspension comes standard on the S8. It's also optionally available on the A8. But the version we're driving has something very cool, predictive active suspension. That is a $6,000 option, but it does some very cool stuff.
I've seen vehicles that will lower for you to have easier access. I've not seen one that raises up the way the S8 does.
And it does it really quickly too. It's actually got these like electric motors at each of the 4 corners that can raise and lower the vehicle. It makes it easier to slide in and out of the vehicle, but that predictive active suspension also has a few other tricks. So if it has a bump like this bump right here, it can see that bump, automatically raise the vehicle so it can better accommodate the bumps on the road. On my ride home, there are bumps I know very, very well, and my body always instinctively kind of prepares for them. Okay, here comes the bump, and then like it would just sort of like not happen. It was really impressive. If you have it in Comfort Plus mode around corners, it'll actually load the outside suspension and lean in up to like 3 degrees rather than having that be a lateral load. It makes it a somewhat more vertical load on the occupants to enhance comfort. If you put it in dynamic mode, the suspension works to minimize dive and roll just to make it a more stable platform. Not that sportiness is the primary goal, but it doesn't hurt. Again, $6,000 is not cheap, but as a total percentage of cost on a vehicle like this, I would probably spring for it. This is very much in that stable category, which yields effortless cornering, and we've also got the executive package. So we've got 21-inch wheels with summer tires. I do like the summer tires, but I also wish they had a little bit more sidewall so you can kind of smooth out some of the little chattery bits. What you need as a driver who's maybe got somebody important in the back is the ability to get them to the airport on time. Otherwise, they're not going to seal the business in Munich. They've got to get to Munich.
You're going to Munich, kiddo?
What's Munich?
She's wheeling and dealing back there.
What does wheeling and dealing mean?
She's playing dumb.
What does playing dumb mean?
That's exactly what a wheeler and dealer would say. There's not much in the way of engine noise. That means that you might find yourself like looking down at the speedometer and be like, oh, holy crap, I'm going way too fast. I'm just gonna floor it here, and we got a pretty quick downshift from that 8-speed, and when that power comes in, stout, right?
Yes.
Oh, and the 8-speed automatic transmission, when you're just driving around, you never think about it. It's just kind of in the right gear, very, very smooth. That's what I think about driving the Audi S8. What does Sweetie think? Evie's at the wheel. As you pull out, do a hard left turn.
Okay.
How's that feel in terms of maneuverability?
Super maneuverable.
We've got 4-wheel steering, so the rear tires kind of kick the tail out, so you can do these fairly, tight turns. How do you find visibility?
Visibility is good all around.
Go and slow down.
Yeah, I was going 10. I'm sorry, bro.
No, I was just going to show that we've got the camera view here, which is kind of fun. Again, I'm not sure how practical that is in terms of daily usage, but it does look kind of cool, like when you bring the car home to show your neighbors. Good visibility though with the 360 cam.
Yeah, I appreciate the 360 cam.
This is a large sedan, but from the driver's seat, does it feel like too large?
In normal drives, I feel very comfortable behind the wheel.
And then as you pull out here, feel free to go as fast as you like.
Wow. That is awesome. It got up to speed so quickly, but it felt very controlled still. And it sounds good too.
The engine noise isn't loud, but what you do hear does sound good.
Damn you, acoustic glass.
If we were in the market for a large luxury sedan, are there any game killers that would keep you from driving an Audi S8?
No.
Wow, okay, strong praise. I'm getting back in the driver's seat. In total, the Audi S8 drives like you would hope a luxury large sedan would drive. And it's extra cool when you have that predictive active suspension. Onward to remarks. Infotainment. We've got a standard 10.1-inch screen. Apple CarPlay and Android Auto wireless come standard, as does wireless phone charging. And then you got this little supplemental screen down here.
Everything is fairly intuitive, but there does seem to be a lot of flexibility in the functionality.
It's hard to have depth without confusion, and they do a good job of that here. I guess my only observation, this is like the fanciest of their cars. I feel like that screen should be bigger. It's a perfectly functional screen, but I'm kind of expecting like some big unit here. No, get out of here,
There are
Iguana.
2 units.
Beat it,
Is
Iguana.
that not enough for you?
We also have a digital gauge cluster over here, 12.3 inches, plenty of information and customizable. And now a segment where we talk about super basic maintenance inspired by my buddy Brian. How do you open the hood on an A8 or S8? Like this. Easy. If you want to add washer fluid, it's right over there on the passenger side. And if you want to check the oil, there is no dipstick, even if you take off the engine cover. You have to go into the infotainment screen to see how the oil situation is doing. And that's the Brian test. All right, let's talk engine choices. Powering the A8 is a 3-liter turbocharged V6. And then in the S8 that we're driving, we've got a 4-liter twin turbocharged V8. With either engine, premium fuel is required. All-wheel drive comes standard, as does an 8-speed automatic transmission.
Sweetie,
Yes.
will you share our trim recommendation?
Yes, after I activate the massage function, because I'm feeling a little bit of tension in my mid-back.
Now I want a massage.
No, I want a massage.
Wow, good job, everybody. We've reached new exciting levels of entitlement. Our trim recommendation is which trim will give you the essential features you would regret not getting, but at the lowest possible price. The S8 we're driving is fun, but honestly, the base A8 has almost everything you need. 4-zone climate control, leather interior, heated and ventilated front seats, a 360-degree camera system, dual sunroofs, and smart key access. But it's missing lane keeping assist. So get the $3,650 executive package to add lane guidance, adaptive cruise control, remote parking assist, blind spot warning, and several other nice features. And if you're ready to buy an Audi A8 or S8 of your very own, click the Kelley Blue Book pricing link to know what you should pay. It's down there in the description. As for competitors, we've got the BMW 7 Series and Mercedes-Benz S-Class, which are both pricier, but filled with more premium features. For an ever so slightly cheaper alternative, consider the Genesis G90. Did we miss any remarks? If so, tell us in the comments section. And now, it is our daughter's time to shine. Child, can you tell us what is your favorite feature of the Audi S8?
I can control so much in the back seat.
Oh, she's mad with power. She's moving things. She's controlling the radio. She's shifting mommy's seat. It's like a very fancy version of Children of the Corn. Family, I think we've done a good job reviewing the Audi S8. May I have a 5? And a 5. And you! Come get your high five. Bam!